60 Minutes Overtime.
We always thought everything was good. We kept getting letters saying that they're increasing his payments. Then we get this letter saying we owe $51,000.
This week on 60 Minutes, we take a look at what happens when Social Security overpays people who receive benefits. They can find out years, and in some cases decades later, that they owe thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. I'm Andy Court, and I'm a producer at 60 Minutes.
I'm Annabelle Hanflig, and I'm an associate producer at 60 Minutes.
I think Annabelle and I were both really surprised to learn that even when it's Social Security's mistake, it can become your problem, your debt to pay back.
And that led us to ask experts in the field, what can people do to reduce the chances of getting an unexpected bill from Social Security?
Let's start with retirement benefits. One of the smartest things you can do long before you retire is check the earnings history that Social Security has for you. If you get annual statements from Social Security, you'll find the information right there on your statement. If not, you can go to My Social Security account on the Social Security Administration's website and find your information there. How much you get when you retire is determined by how much you contribute in payroll taxes while you're working. If your record's wrong, that can cause you a lot of problems later on.
But it's not enough just to notice a mistake. You have to let Social Security know about it as soon as possible, and you have to bother them until you know they've fixed the error. One of the most important things you can do is make sure you keep records of all your communications with the agency, everything you send and everything you receive. You should keep detailed notes on who you talk to, when you talk to them, what they said, and how you can get in touch with them again.
If you're nearing retirement or already retired, there are online tools that can help you figure out how much you should be getting.
It determines when...
Lawrence Kotlikoff, the Boston University economist who appeared in our story, created a program called Maximize My Social Security. It lets you analyze complex scenarios, like when you and your spouse should claim retirement benefits. Who claims first and when can make a big difference over the long haul.
AARP also has a basic Social Security tool that's free. These calculators can be planning tools, but they can also help you figure out if something seems wrong. It's worth it to try doing the math on your own because it can take Social Security years to catch mistakes.
The problem in so many of the cases we looked into was not just that the mistake was made. It was that the mistake wasn't caught for 3 or 4 years. And then suddenly someone's being told you owe us $50,000 or $70,000.
And that's why if you're receiving Social Security disability benefits and you decide to go back to work, you have to be very careful. After an initial trial work period is over, you can't make more than a set amount per month, and you'll no longer be eligible for disability benefits. That monthly income limit is called Substantial Gainful Activity, or SGA. It's $1,470 per month right now for most people, but it changes every year, so you have to keep looking it up. I think a lot of people figure, whatever Social Security sends me must be right. It's Social Security. They have all my information and they're taking everything into account. But we found that relying on the agency to do everything right can be a mistake.
It's a huge mistake. We were told by lawyers that if you can show that you said to Social Security, this doesn't look right, are you sure you're paying me the correct amount? And someone at the agency says it's fine, don't worry, then they have given you misinformation. And that, according to the agency's rules, is grounds to challenge the overpayment and get it waived. If you are receiving both Social Security disability benefits and workers' comp, you've got to tell Social Security about the workers' comp. If you don't, you could end up owing Social Security a lot of money. And we still haven't talked about one of the largest sources of overpayments, the Supplemental Security Income Program, SSI, which is for people with low incomes who are elderly or disabled.
The rules for SSI are particularly complicated. If you're homeless and you sleep on a friend's couch, for example, you're supposed to declare the value of that couch. And because the eligibility guidelines haven't been updated for inflation in a very long time, if your individual assets go above $2,000, you're suddenly not eligible for benefits.
It's important for people to know that if your income is low enough to qualify for a full subsidy of your Medicare Part D premiums, then you also qualify for a $10 a month repayment program if you ever have an overpayment problem. That means Social Security won't charge you more than $10 a month for your overpayment, but you have to contact Social Security and ask them for it. If you just ignore the overpayment notice, the agency might stop your checks entirely.
We said in our story that it's hard for people with overpayment problems to find lawyers to represent them, and that's true. But people who are on SSI often have incomes that would qualify them for legal aid lawyers, some of whom will take on overpayment cases. Also, people who are disabled qualify for free legal help from federally financed protection and advocacy programs throughout the country.
It's worth noting that just as some people are overpaid, some people are underpaid. In that case, Social Security is supposed to notify you and pay you the money you're owed. But your chances of getting that money are greater if you're paying attention and are able to figure out that you should be receiving more.
You can find more information not just on the Social Security Administration's website, but also through the website of the National Organization of Social Security Claimant Representatives, an organization for attorneys who handle Social Security cases.
User-friendly, affordable tool.
Professor Lawrence Kotlikoff and personal finance author Terry Savage have also written a book called Social Security Horror Stories, which contains a lot more information about how the system works and how it could be improved. So one final takeaway from all of this is when it comes to Social Security, don't take anything for granted. Keep an eye on what's going on, because you do not want to someday receive a big bill in the mail.